It is my great fortune that I am reciting those verses related to the holy thoughts of Paramahams Reverend Swami Sachchidanand ji, which are filled with the divine rhythm of Siddhashram and which are in themselves so great and celestial. Every word, every sentence and every shlok related to him fills the listener with such sanctity as is experienced on bathing in the holy waters of river Ganga, such joy as is felt in trekking through the Himalayas, such fulfillment as is attained on sitting with the sages, and such enthusiasm and happiness as is felt on visiting the Siddhashram. In fact, such a vivid and enthralling characteristic is imbued into every shlok of Reverend Gurudev. The language, that is Sanskrit, used in these shlokas is neither related to the Sanskrit of the Vedas, nor is it bound by the grammatical rules of Panini. The Sanskrit used here consists of words generated straight from the depth of the heart, which are free from all bounds of the mind. These are just the divine thoughts which have flowed out straight from the heart in the form of a stream, and whenever the name of Yogiraj Swami Sachchidanand ji, who is thousands of years old, emanates from the lips, the eyes fill with an intoxicating joy. The whole body is filled with an uncomparable excitement, and a feeling of fulfillment overpowers the senses. Even the surroundings and the whole atmosphere of the house where Sachchidanand Smriti is chanted is filled with a celestial fragrance. In fact, whenever we contemplate on his divine form, he always presents himself in an invisible form. I am revealing these verses from Sachchidanand Smriti for the very first time publicly. These lines are holy music for the sages and yogis of Siddhashram, and they keep humming these verses with great joy and reverence, due to which each particle of this place seems to be filled with the music of these shlokas. The music of the gentle rippling waves on the surface of the Siddha Yoga lake and that of the gentle breeze seem to sing out these very verses. And today is really a very auspicious day, a very fortunate day, that we are chanting those very shlokas which the nature itself has created, to which the Supreme God has given form, and which are revered by all the gods. These are not just verses or a collection of words, but divine in themselves. These verses elucidate a process of sanctifying the body and soul, and are in fact steps which lead to the divine state of Brahma. These verses are actually a sweet presentation of celestial heavenly music. These shlokas have been created by the nature. The human cannot write such exquisite verses, because in these verses the thoughts of the great personality and his divinity have been attempted to be assimilated. But on the other hand, can the greatness of such a divine personality be bounded by words? Can the music contain the infinity of the universe in itself? This is just not possible. Still, this is the great fortune of this present generation, that I am reading out the shlokas related to such a great personality who has established and managed the Siddhashram, who is the cosmic center of all the spiritual powers, who is thousands of years old, has a divine celestial form, and who is also my reverend Guru. I really feel delighted and overwhelmed with joy on chanting these verses, which are in the language of nature and have emanated from the mouth of God. I feel as if I am sitting before the divine form of Reverend Gurudev, as if he is smiling and showering my whole body with his benevolence and his affection, as if he himself is chanting these divine verses created by the gods through the medium of my lips, and the people who listen to these verses, the atmosphere of whose house is filled with these chantings, and those who fill their hearts with the elixir of these shlokas are really the most fortunate. Such people are surely great souls, for it is only due to their good deeds that they are able to listen to the divine words which have emanated from the lips of the gods. Today, in this early hour of the morning, amidst all the beauty and splendor of nature, and on the divine land of Siddhashram, which has been created by nature, I am reciting the Sachchidanand Sthavan, the great prayer of Swami Sachchidanand Paramahams, and I consider it a great and auspicious moment of my life that I am able to present before my disciples those divine verses which are filled with great cosmic powers.
Siddhashramoyam paramam vidusam jnanam ch divyam mahatam mahitam आतेव नित्यं परमं पवित्रं दिव्यात्मरूपं प्रणमं नमामि.
I bow down in reverence before the divine power who has created these verses. I venerate before the four-headed Brahma, the creator of this universe, from whose lips these unique verses have emanated. I bow down before Lord Ganapati, who has instilled in me a power and capability to chant these verses. I pray to Goddess Saraswati, the goddess of speech and learning, to bless me so that I can chant these sacred verses. And I offer every cell of my body and my soul in the holy feet of Bhagavad Sachchidanandji, and pray to him to instill his divinity into every part of my body and to bless me with the power to recite these shlokas, so that whoever listens to them feels their sanctity and divinity entering his body, mind and soul.
Ganga Twadeeyam Devottarupam Himalayo Vai Paramam Nityam Nityo Vadam Swargavadaiva Nityam Karunyarupamapuram Mahitam Vadevam.
The name of Gurudev is in itself so divine that just by speaking it out, the body and soul seem sanctified, just as one feels on bathing in the holy river Mandakini. Just chanting of his holy name is an accomplishment higher than the greatest peaks of the Himalayas. His name is the confluence of the divine forms of all the gods, and on remembering such a Gurudev, the whole life becomes filled with a celestial exuberance, sanctity and divine radiance.
वेदन्तरूपमपरं महितान् विहंसिम् कारुण्यरूपमपरं महितं वदेवम् सिद्धाश्रमोऽयं पुण्यो वदेयम् सच्चित् स्वरूपम् आत्मार्वनित्यम्.
The greatest seat of spiritualism on this earth is Siddhashram. It is such a divine, holy and sacred place that even the gods are tempted to take human birth in order to visit it. It is a place where even today great yogis and sages of all times are present physically, a place whose soil is holy like sandalwood paste and worthy to be applied onto the forehead, a place in which every particle is overflowing with the fragrance of spiritualism. The air here is divine and sacred in itself, and Reverend Gurudev, who has established this place and who manages it, is a great soul indeed and is Brahma himself. In fact, in him one can see the infinite universe, and this is why he is called the basis of life, the holy soul and Brahma.
मंदाकिनी वै नित्यं वदाय दीर्घोवतां वै ब्रह्मं स्वरूपम् विष्णुर्वदैव रवितं सदैवम् आत्मार्थनित्यं वाग्देवपूर्णम्.
And our Vedic scriptures are a witness to it that Lord Brahma himself called Swami Sachchidanandji Brahmaswarup, or a form of the Almighty. Lord Vishnu, the preserver of this world, has called him a confluence of all spiritual powers. Lord Rudra, the destroyer, has called him a reflection of this world, and Goddess Saraswati has said that it is beyond her capabilities to speak about the great life and divinity of Swami Sachchidanandji. What more can be said about him? From these words, it is quite clear that even the greatest of all gods, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh and Saraswati, have accepted the greatness of his spiritual life.
आविर्हतं मां परमं वदेवं ऋग्वेदरूपं गेयं स्वरूपं यज्ञोत्वतां पूर्णमदैव नित्यं विज्ञानरूपं सच्चिद्स्वरूपम्.
Sage Vasishtha says, Rigveda has called him the soul of spiritualism, Samaveda has called him the father of music, and music has sprung out from his divine voice. Yajurveda has called him the supporting pillar of the practice of yajna, through which all the gods are worshipped and contemplated upon. And the Atharva Ved has said that Swami Sachchidanandji is the greatest exponent of all the sciences, all the knowledge, all divinity and life present in this universe. All the four Vedas have thus sung praises of this great personality in these words, and they say that he is such a divine form that his greatness cannot be described in so few words.